Ladies and gentlemen, I'm too happy to be here to have this joint event with the Schiller-Institute about this topic. I believe this topic is very important, and Madam Hegler has had a very good presentation. My presentation is about Middle East securities and Chinese role in, especially BI role in this region. Firstly, about Middle East security, I believe you know well than Chinese because Germany is nearer to this region than China. And for my understanding, this region now, since the Arab Spring, so-called Arab Spring, this region faced the most serious security situation. Maybe in past, you know, in this region, just we have the overall, the comprehensive security challenges. In the past, maybe just a small part of this region have some crisis, but now it's a whole region. In the past, maybe we just have geopolitical some kinds of security issues, but now we have more and more from North Africa to Iraq, to Syria, to Palestine, to now it's spilled to the Persian Gulf, and also in the past we have maybe the conventional security issues we have more, but now we have more and more unconventional security challenges in this region. Such as in the past we talk more about Iran nuclear issue, but now in this region, nuclear issue, missile proliferation issues has expanded in this region from Iran to Saudi Arabia to UAE to the whole region, and also this kind of security challenges, not just political issues. It also is about, I think it's about ideological challenges. It's about governance. It's about security issues. It's overall comprehensive security challenges. From my understanding, from 2011, Arab Spring, in this region, the regional order has totally changed. Some people call this collapsed. There are two things, two major reasons for this change. The first one is Arab Spring. The second one is about United States Middle East policy, from my understanding. That is, you remembered in last century when the Soviet Union collapsed in Europe, in Africa, in Balkan, in South Asia, in Middle East. We have a wave of instability. And this period, United States from Obama to Trump, I think, the American policy, Middle East policy, that is to strategy or retreat policy from this region. It has created a huge vacuum, not just a power vacuum, or also security vacuum, ideological vacuum. It's comprehensive. Why we have so many problems security colleges. Why we have Russians come back to Middle East? Why we have new Salavia, new UAE, new Turkey? Why we have Turkey, Saudi, Iran's strategic competition in this region? I think its main reason is about United States military policy. Also because the United States policy, Europe in this region now become, from my understanding, it's become hurt and has a dilemma, because in the past you have partnership with United States to do jointly to do something, but now you have no. In Libya, in Syria, also in Iran, in Persian Gulf, you couldn't find the traditional partner with United States in this here. So that's what happened here. This situation created for this region, I think that is way for this region to lose balance, lose order, also lose control. These three rules in this region. It created turmoil, stability, and uncertainty in the future. We don't know where it will go and what is the real directions. It's a real challenges for this region. And for my understanding, this region, when Arab Spring broke out, we said, it will not end in 3 or 5 or 3 years finish, but it's a long term because it's a strategic, it's a structural changing. It will need a long way, long term to have a new regional order. It's a long term, multiple security challenge for this region. And this is about regional security situation generally. And the second is about for Chinese understanding for the security. For China, we just mentioned the law or the challenges in this region, security challenge is not just geopolitical changes. It's not just of severely Arab Spring or a regime change or some kinds of. We believe this change is the fundamental reason, fundamental source is about economic. If we want to find answers to so-called 1 century Middle East question, Middle East problem, we should to find good ways to another way to solve this problem. In the past, we already have so many plans on politics and securities. For China, we try to find a new ways, a new thinkings. That is President Xi in 2016. He visited Cairo. He gave a very important bridge. Also, at that time, Chinese government published a China policy on Arab countries. It's the first one white paper on this region. For China to solve this regional problems, President Xi gave 3 keys. One is dialogue. The other one is development. The third one is how to say is every country according to Chinese province, Chinese experience. That is these regional countries should have their own development road based on their own culture, own history. Just as I mentioned, this regional crisis is not just a political crisis, security crisis. It's based on economic, based on development mode. It's based on governance mode. So in the past, maybe in the last 2 years, from my understanding, in this region has misleaded to a lot of way, and it focus on political democracy or freedom or some kinds of things, and they missed the golden chance to development. But everybody knows in last 20 years, it's a global development for this world. It's a global golden globalization, but this region has missed and endowed in conflicts and wars and so-called democracy, some kinds of reform. Yeah. So it's about democracy. It's about developing mode. It's about governance. I think the Turkey is trying to find a new ways to pass down his history and tradition, his culture, and his location. That is what Erdogan, what now he doing. In the past, Turkey just followed the Western mode, but Erdogan think this is not the best way for Turkey. Turkey's development, Turkey's mode should based on his history, his own country's history, culture. That is why Turkey changed, not just simply from west to east or some kinds of, just do as their owns. Turkey is now does. I think it's now is correct to think ways for this region. This is the third part of my presentation is that how Chinese to do it. From President Xi in 2012, he was elected as the General Secretary of Chinese Communist Party, and Chinese foreign policy has a big forward. That is, in the past we try to as a regional power, but now we have a new position. That is, we are a global power. We should have a big responsibility in this world, governance. We have devote more responsibilities for this world's peace and development. But we invest. We should use Chinese ways, Chinese thinkings, Chinese models. We don't just want to repeat the West countries, the Soviet Union or Russia's ways, the old ways. It's a difficult ways to find it, but we try to do. So we have in this Middle East region, we also publicly give a statement. That is, we are here. We are not to compete with United States. We come here we are not to fill in so-called power vacuum. We come here to not seek for influence or theism. Also, we come here not to find for proxy, something like us. So Saudi or Iran, the two countries always said also, you should take sides with me. You should take sides with me. No, that's not Chinese ways to do this. Some countries also why China don't send troops to this region to promote the security role in this region. Also, it's not Chinese ways. It's a past. We call it maybe it's not exactly Cold War ways, but Cold War thinkings. But it's about Chinese culture. It's about Chinese concept. We don't repeat all the thinkings or all the superpowers what they had done in the region. So we try to play different role in this region. For President Xi, he gave five different type of role in this region. One is to build for regional peace. The second is support to this region's industrialization, and the third is support as regional stability. The fourth is cooperation partnership with regional people's communication, people's changes. Also, the first important is we should be as a key supporter to push regional development. For China, these regions towards peace, not through democracy or freedom. We believe, according to Chinese experience, that is, these regions towards the peace should go through development. For my understanding, the regional fundamental problem is development for China, for Africa, for Middle East. This region has already missed 20 years. We couldn't afford to allow 20 years. And in last 20 years, for this region, this region not seek for industrialization or raising industrialization. Actually, in last 20 years, it just due to industrialization. It's a upward direction. So for China, understanding it's why this region have Arab Spring, why so young people go to street, because it's about economic, it's about industrialization, it's about unemployment. They should find ways to solve this problem. It's the peace goes through development. So we have Then we have a BRI here. We try to help this region to promote to build infrastructure and ports and railways and roads, and also we try to help them to establish reindustrialization. For Egypt, for Turkey, for Iran, I think it's a fundamental problems. Now we have already established many industrial zones in Oman, in UAE, in Saudi Arabia, in Egypt, in Morocco. I think it's popular also for BRI, we think it's not just for it's basically for economic level. It's focused on economic, but we also believe, just like Silk Road, old Silk Road. It's old Silk Road. It's the essence. It's about cooperation. It's about peace. It's about cooperation, development, peace. It's the essence. Also, it's also for BRI. If BRI can do successfully in this region, we also hope to bring regional countries, different peoples, different sections to can work together to cooperate. That is dialogue. That is we promote dialogue. That is we enhance integration. That is EU mediation summit. EU legal had done in 20 years ago. It will promote integration for this region. Also, we also hope to promote understanding different peoples. Just like China with the United States, China with Japan, we have problems, but we can economic cooperation. And economically is not maybe it will not fundamentally solve problems, security issues, but we can step by step gradually change atmosphere or also feelings. It's also about changing in this kind of regional cultures, computations, conflict cultures, to try to help them to find a common platform for them to work together. That's all. Thank you.